Hello and welcome to part 3 of Let's Plays Disco Elysium. Last time we were successful in, working out that someone had done some very impressive car stunts across this roof, and we haven't had a drink in, maybe 2 hours? 1.5. We have a busy morning. So it might be time to start talking to people. At the moment we're wearing a stinky shirt. Excuse me. Which doesn't help with our interactions. We've got some tools. It's not particularly dark at the moment, but we can shine it into people's faces as we interrogate them like a true detective. Waterlock control panel. A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed Samaran butter sign in the way. There is indeed. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. Well, there's a lever, so let's pull it. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then nothing happens. Push it harder. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the situation. The lieutenant hums to himself while staring at your activities. So I release the lever. A spring brings the lever back into its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Some other way. So that's a new task. Close the waterlock on Wednesday? Is it Wednesday today? I have no idea. Okay, wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? Aha. Okay. So, I'm not sure what day it is. Let's check. So this is Monday. So we're not going to be able to get this open for a while. But at least we know when we will be able to get it back. So we put our less stinky speak to people shirt on. So let's talk to this guy. Good morning to you, officers. A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock, and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. Do you know what caused this wreckage? He says, I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tyre tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revocol. The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Do you know what's further down the coast? Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. He thinks for a moment. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. What's with the lever that does nothing? It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Disabled because of the blockage. Why is it disabled? Safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the water lock with debris still in the canal. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. He nods his head towards the control panel. You want to do the honours when the time comes? I think I say, we'll see. I'm not all that into manual labour. Suit yourself, just dropped up by on Wednesday if you want to see the water lock work again. He cuts a fresh slice from his salami. Can I have some of that? Sure thing. He cuts off a slice of salami. Ooh. Apparently that's made us feel a bit better. Want some too, officer? He turns to the lieutenant. The lieutenant ponders the offer for a moment, then decides to go for it. Why not? He takes a slice of salami from the man and chews it. Right, bye. Well, he was a nice guy, I think. Doesn't look like there's much else to look at around here. It looks like eating that food, yeah, went and healed us up. Oh, there's a pawn shop here. That's pawn as in selling things. I'm not sure we have a lot to sell, but we can at least see what's available. Welcome to the pawn shop. Mostly military wear, with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in. A sawed-off streetlight. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. Let's let my gaze run over the street lamp. The light pole has been carefully cut and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room. Where did you get this? It was brought to me to be altered. Kim leans in so the pawnbroker can't hear him. We're not here to investigate the theft of city property. He pauses, studying the light, then adds, you have to admit it, it's rather clever what he's done with it. Okay. I want to investigate everything, though. Ooh, a shelf of boom boxes. The boom boxes on the shelf look well loved and well travelled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. Okay, so one of our missions was to learn a sad song so that we can sing it for karaoke. And this is part of that mission. You see, we need to listen to it on a boom box first. Stand on the tips of your toes to see more. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you, golden orange, a sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it. Are you sure this is all in working order? Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds, and music from a variety of genres. Even though, he grimaces, I don't really like music. Shopkeep, this Stereo 8 approved machine here is the Harman Wowshi W02. Made in Vespa, designed in Seoul. He says, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 reel. So apparently we've managed to pick up that much, have we? No, we don't have that much. We've got like $2. What I really want to know is, could this device come in handy with my police work? If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that, or any other time you'd need to play a tape. Like at a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze. Turn to Kim. Theoretically, could I bring it to a beach party? Theoretically, yes, but we don't have much time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party. Actually, it doesn't have to be a beach. With a boombox like that, I'll bring the party into the streets. You can play it any way you like, and I guess since you're a police officer, no one can arrest you for it. Yep, we can't exactly buy it though, because we have no money. Well, I say none. $2.90, something like that. Knick-knack stand. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms, all are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Win her back? Yes, buy something nice, a figurine. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. So, many voices in my character's head going on here, and they don't agree with each other. So, let's try our interfacing skill to dig up a truly cool figurine in the box. Why, what's this? A headless man riding a horse. A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say Faun. What is this? Oh, that's the headless Faun rider. Of course, nod knowingly. There's been a lot of interest in that particular figurine. I had to hide it so it wouldn't fall into the wrong hands. He doesn't elaborate on these wrong hands. It's unlikely that he ever will. The lieutenant studies the tiny figurine in your hand. I've heard about it, he says with amusement. I've heard the headless F-A-L-N rider rides a headless bull. Yes, there are several competing versions of the story, but I believe this figurine is more canonical representation. Look at Kim, then back at Roy. Sorry, what are we talking about again? The Headless Faun Rider, an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a faun tracksuit. As you can see, he's missing his head. He points at the decapitated figurine. 50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations. We'll leave it for now. 50 cents is cheap, but I think without a particular reason for getting it. In the dark, a film projector is whirring away. Some kind of machine. An antique cash register? Is there anything else we can look at particularly? No, we can look at more figurines. So inspect the knights on horseback. Big men on big horses clad in lamellar armour and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye. Who are they? Franco-Nigerian knights, Kim says. He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light. I used to be a very serious collector of these guys. A long time ago. Okay, inspect the blue uniforms. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets. What exactly are these? Which ones? The man peers from his glass box. Ah! Royalist soldiers from the time of the Revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose. Inspect the figurines in rags. This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks. Are these even soldiers? You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? The man behind the glass answers. Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. It's meant to give the people hope. Even we can do it. Maybe. He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is. Right, perhaps we should have a little chat to him. Although, it's possible he'll... The man at the counter turns to you slowly. It's possible he'll be more talkative if we buy something. But let's make a start. His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector. Ooh, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop, really? Okay, I thought he was doing something dodgy with the projector. I'm sorry, I feel I'm interrupting you. Well, he's not telling us to leave. Honestly, I think some of your selections are press your finger to the tip of your lips. More tasteful than others. He responds, unimpressed by your snobbery. Oh, so we can offer something to sell. So we can work out if he's high. That might be good to know. We can't tell. But we think he definitely is high. Whatever it is you've probably done, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get the answers. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues. Do you know anything about the traffic menace on the loose? Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. But wait, what? You don't drive? I just don't like it very much. Movement on the road never really gelled well with the movement of my thoughts. But didn't you hear it when the traffic menace drove over your roof? Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop and then moving on. That sure narrows down our list of suspects, says Kim. A vortex sounds fascinating. Yeah, it was pretty wild. I don't really know what to make of it, but I know it meant something. Hmm. By the way, do you happen to have any guns? Like the ones carried by cops? Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple of days back. Jeez. This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to the other. Alert. Wait, I sold my gun? You, with Kim here too? That just sounded really, really bad. You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. He hesitates. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revocol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind. He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you. He probably has good reason. Drop the matter, maybe come back without Kim. Was the buyer a policeman too? She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Right, so let me get this right. The lieutenant turns to you. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the Citizens Militia? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her. He looks around, worried. Any idea where I can find this buyer? My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went. We could get a description, surely. A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow. Seriously, I would have thought we could ask for a description, but apparently that's the one detail we cannot get. Okay, at least I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. Okay. So you might be able to aid our investigation. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone. He doesn't know anything. Okay. There's something I'd like to sell. Let me have a look. I'd like to sell my clothes. I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. He looks you up and down quickly. Okay, I don't have anything to sell for the moment. I have other business to take care of now. Well, so we have a bit of an update on the gun. Keep looking, maybe someone else knows something. The collectible figurine is cheap. And collectible, supposedly, so maybe we could somehow make a profit by buying it. It's a long shot, I know, but it is a roleplay game. And we do just about have enough money for that. Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you, he grins. That was a smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him. Okay, let's have a look at it. So, it doesn't look like it's really worth anything more than what we paid for it. But maybe it is lucky, who knows? If we find a collector, it'll probably be worth more. Or I could just have wasted my money on a random bit of tat. Yeah, who knows, maybe it could win her back. So there's something by the side of this pit here? Is it a sort of bowling pit? Let's have a look-see. Tyre tracks leading onto the roof. Okay. The slush and rain has always washed them off. We've had a good look at the tyre tracks, so I don't think we really need to do much more. I still haven't fully explored the city. This looks like it possibly goes down to the harbour. It's probably worth having a poke around. This coin-operated viewer has been banged up, inoperable. Yeah, it looks like there's quite a lot of things around here. Is this a street sign? To Roundabout North. To Capeside Apartments, Martinez Pier. The ad reads, broken window, Tibbs has windows. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these bottles and then sell them. That sounds like a bit of a clue, doesn't it? Perhaps I could. Coin-operated viewer. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubble gum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. Poor little viewer, pat it. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It also looks unhygienic. Look inside. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onok written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Shift your focus to the background. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appears. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky, weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Chi roll, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian Church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Okay, we were told about this church and that it always seemed to be broken. But we're probably not going to be able to get over there till Wednesday, it seems. Another coin-operated viewer. This one facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. What's the tourist attraction doing here? There was a revitalization project in '49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. The lieutenant looks around and concludes, it didn't stick. What happened? They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on the intersection. Then something went sour. He lowers his voice. I suspect something was Everett Clare, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. Can't we do something about it? We should have done something about that union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer. So I've already used my money on a figurine. You might maybe consider using 25 cents later. You hear the distant squall of seabirds. Anything around here? Oh, there's like a stepping stone or something. The things I've seen and said. Yeah. Perhaps if the tide was lower, we could get across, maybe. There's something here. A splatter of bullet holes line the wall. Oh, could this be like a clue to our gun's whereabouts? The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. Let's look closer first. The fading marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions, just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient. Kim, look, bullet holes. Where? He looks around. Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it. There? He looks at the wall. Those are old. What do you mean old? These bullets were fired during the Revolution, over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation. Okay, what can you tell me about the Revolution? Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go? Well, that seemed like a fairly pointless line of questioning. But we did get XP for it. Is this a bag? It is a bag. It could come in useful. So, I don't know. Let's have a look at the bag and see. Oh, it's a tool. I think we should have that. Because it said earlier that we could pick up bottles and cans for money. So I think we can probably relate to this old drunk. I feel like the mission to get alcohol is probably a mission we should try to fail, though. I've been kicked out of every joint in Revacol. Poor guy. Come on, the night's still young. Oh my goodness. See, now there's lots of things we can pick up. It's practically a gold mine. I'll even be able to afford to use that viewer, maybe. We're cleaning up the streets, so to speak. Okay, so this looks like a bookshop of some kind. Unless I want to spend a lot of time reading book covers, I think I may go and have a peer over here first. Possibly. Have a peer at the pier. I don't know, is there a pier? There's a bird here. A lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. Is it bad that I'm sort of rather ignoring our mission currently? But I'll be honest, I think the gun problem is more immediate. What's this? It's a wall. Oh, and there's a bit of secret way up here. So this is a white check, and we can retry it. We can try to conceptualize something about this wall. No clue, it's just a wall. Okay. But what we have found is that there's a A back way around here. Interesting. Someone up on the wall. A garden hose. This won't be of use until the snow melts. A balcony with a view of the yard. And the hanging. Oh, maybe they're a witness. The smoker, there could be a witness, indeed. We could talk to him. Let's do that. Smoker on the balcony. You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while. He says in a quiet voice. Despite the cold, his shirt hangs unbuttoned on his frame. Why are you whispering? It sounds like you're already in trouble. He says, Soto voice. Don't let him go. This could be a witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing. Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to you. He asks you, adjusting his shirt. Can you tell me your name? My name? My name is Martin Martinez. That's definitely not his real name. You're not actually called Martin Martinez, are you? No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice? He scans the courtyard. It's silent like the bottom of a well. Every sound captured and reflected back. Ask him again. Listen, I really need your name. And I really need to finish this cigarette, he replies with a subtle smile. But he hasn't left yet. Can you tell me your name? Okay. Looks like you got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging? I'd even go so far as to say the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate on when the body will be taken away? We will remove the body as soon as possible, says Kim. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday? Oh, he waves lazily with his cigarette. You already asked me that, didn't you? Wait. Is someone else investigating the lynching? I'm pretty sure I didn't. No, not you. He gestures idly. Some more muscular type. The lieutenant looks out. The lieutenant takes out his little blue notebook and writes something down. And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman? Last week? I don't know. Look. He looks around the courtyard again. Rain patters on the windowsills and dead houseplants. Too late to do them any good. It'll take more than rain to bring this place back to life. You didn't answer the question, says Kim. What were you doing last Sunday? He sighs. I had a friend over. What kind of friend? It was my Sunday friend. Makes sense. Friends are nice on Sunday. You don't have to work. You can just spend time with pals, watching rugby and drinking beer. What's this friend's real name? Did he see something? He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, the neighbouring windows are streaked with rain. Wow. We got precisely nowhere with that. All right, we'll talk later. No, we won't. He takes one last drag on his cigarette before stubbing it out on the balcony. Now, If you'll excuse me, I really need to get going. Okay, so we can try to convince him to stay. We only have one chance at this. Apparently we're pretty good at suggestion, so fingers crossed. Whew! This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains. Hey, listen! Lower your voice. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet again, somewhere else? For the moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depth of his feline eyes, compassion and a hint of understanding. When he speaks again, his voice is soft and deliberate. I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for. With a flick of his wrist, he sends the cigarette butt sailing over the rail. But hold on, what's this? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign. Good luck with the investigation. He walks away. A stone next to the front door. He's gone. The lieutenant puts away his notebook and turns to you. We should run after him, see where he went. No point in running, says Kim. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. So we just give up? He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there. The lieutenant nods towards a small rock on a soggy patch of grass. If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around his apartment. Good point. Let's do that. Right. So this stone, turn it over. Maybe there's something under it. Key to the apartment building. Rusty from the dirt. This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments, and the man can be from any of them. How are we going to find the right one? We'll just have to go in and see. Put the stone back. Okay. So it looks like we could possibly enter the apartment this way. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. What's this over here? Another splattering of bullet holes on this wall. What's in the box? An orange bum hat. Improves our reaction speed. And also gives us a minus on something. Okay, what's this over here? These barrels are half full of rainwater. Someone is trying to grow herbs in this greenhouse. Can we? We're not close enough to be able to look at the tree. Just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. Okay, looks like we could go in there if we wanted. And let's survey the area fully first. So we know exactly. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Hey, more bottles so we can clean up the city some more. Inside, the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Ooh. What's this? What's this? Carpside Apartments and Rue de Saint-Ghislain, roundabout north. There's someone up there. Hey, up here, piggo! You seem to want our attention. So we've sort of... Kim walked in front of us, now we're in a conversation. So let's go with that then. So tell me about the case. What do you want to know? Literally anything about it. I can't remember a single thing. Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit. I literally know nothing about it, only what you've told me before. Do you want me to brief you? Brief? Yes, that sounds good. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify himself but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labour dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. Does the briefing say who the victim was? A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. Who was the caller? To find him or her is one of our tasks here. For now, all we know is that the tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. Why hide themselves? There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now, it appears, they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. Hold on, and the RCM is... That's us, the Revicol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city. The RCM or Revicol Citizens Militia is the police force you and him are part of, a self-organised peace corps of the occupied city of Revicol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this. So let me get this perfectly clear. Our job is to find the killer. That's right. If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a... He considered the phrasing. Pissing competition. His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise. What do you mean? You don't know? His eyes narrow. I assumed you were in on it. I don't remember being in on anything. That's good. Tell me about it. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. You tell me now. This seems relevant. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Would you say this is a mysterious case? No, it's not particularly mysterious. Why not? The lieutenant shrugs. The deceased is a security guard from a corporation involved in a labour dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. I was thinking something otherworldly might be involved, you know, something supernatural. I can assure you nothing like that will happen. Do you know why? Are you sure? I think something is already happening. No, something isn't happening. Because it's not part of... He makes a precise gesture with his hand. Reality. So desperately mundane. You need to funk this case up. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You could convince him. Actually, I have all I need to know for now. Good. The lieutenant nods. So we can try to convince him that there's a dark, sexy, mysterious twist in the case. And if we don't convince him now, we can try again later. No. Only banal things strike you, and at core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. Oh. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you. What? What? How weird. That's seriously weird. I want to talk about you, Kim. Me? He says. Yes, you. I don't see how my life is pertinent to this investigation. We'll work better together if we have more rapport. That's a fair point. Although, all right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? You're wearing glasses. That's correct? You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone. Glasses are cool, I guess. Are they? They're mostly just cumbersome. You could use a good, normal pair yourself. Tell me a secret about yourself. The lieutenant narrows a single eyebrow. No. Tell me a secret about yourself. Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Oh, something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you. What's happening to me? Something the matter, detective? This guy's got authority off the charts. With just a flick of his eyebrow, he's able to make you his thrall. So what can I do about it? Nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it. Silently scream for help. If the lieutenant were an evil man, who knows what sort of havoc he could wreak. Fortunately, he is a committed officer of the RCM. He'll only use his powers for the good of the investigation. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself. Do you ever talk with yourself? What do you mean? You know, when you're thinking. Do you ever have conversations with, like, your brain? I've no idea what you're talking about. The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case. So you're saying your brain never chimes in with advice or warnings or anything? I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook. The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through the pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have different mediums. His is written. That'll do for now. So now he's moved, maybe we can pick up our bottles, which are meat and drink at the moment, I think. Kim, stop getting in the way of my bottles. I tell you what, if bottles are what's wanted, we've got a heck of a lot in our apartment. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A. There is a boat here. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. Shadows on the water, green plants under the calm surface. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in your life. Wow. What's this? What's this? Looks like there was more construction here once, decades ago. Can we go in here? Apparently we can. Interesting. The graffito says a firing squad for the rich. A note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Realty Associates it should be. The sea below looks cold and winter grey. Someone has torn down the wall. Oh gosh. It's dark in here, but we have a torch. This is what the torch is for. An old grocery list on the table. And checks. What happened here? You can't foreclose an apartment with a hole in the wall. It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. There's always a little something in the fridge. Indeed. Oh, there is indeed. We got a health thing. We got a little bit of money. A very little bit of money. Jeez. But then picking up random pieces of change isn't exactly going to... Is this the way we came in? It said balcony. I wonder if that's up on the balcony where our smoker was. Oh no, no. Not exactly. Balcony overlooking the docks. Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbour until it happened. Let's guess about what happened. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline, fired from the water. A straight shot into Revacol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling, until it was destroyed and they had a direct firing line. A look at the ruins in the water. Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. take in the ocean. The waves of the Martinez Inlet roll over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscure the better part of the remains. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean. Who did this damage? A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesca volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful the ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Oh, we got a new skill point. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water. Far in the northeast, cannons still ready to placate Revachol. Hey Kim, do you know who shelled our city? The Coalition, says the lieutenant. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here. He does not like talking politics of this kind. Okay, let's go. Autosave is fortuitous. Thank you for watching. We'll leave it there. See you next time. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to share, subscribe, and all that jazz. Farewell.